Hi, I'm Christa Jacobson, headmistress of the Budo Ryu Ninjutsu Dojo, and today I am with Mr. Daniel McLean. He is one of our brown belts at the school, and we are doing a kind of a student interview. Yeah. And for those of you guys who, if you guys like this video, Mr. McLean does run a Budo Ryu page for us on Facebook. He puts his own little insights and his thoughts on training. He kind of documents his training and his journey in Budo. So there is a link below. And just click that link and subscribe to his page, and talk away. Give him some conversation if you like this video. Give him some support. Yeah. Okay, so that's the introduction. I have 10 questions that I'll be asking him. So we'll go from there. First off is, how did you find me? What was your inspiration of ninjutsu, and how did you find me?
Well, originally I wanted to study in a martial arts that was somewhat exotic but still applicable in the modern world. So I thought ninjutsu. Saw human weapon and I saw ninjutsu. I didn't really like the Bujutsu and all that, so I just Googled ninjutsu on Google and found you.
Cool. So you Google, you find me, and then what is your perception? What do you think from that point? You see.
For my trial class?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you find me, I give everyone a free class.
Yep.
And then I remember the day you and your mom came in, and your mom was talking to me and everything. So, tell them about when you met me for the first time, you had that trial class.
I'd say that was probably the hardest workout I've ever done. It was very, very physical, but the Kuden is awesome.
What did you expect with your training? Question number 3. What did you expect? You come in expecting something, and what was that, and then did that change?
Well, and I had seen some of your workout videos, so I knew it was going to be extremely physical. And I think the quote I used the day that I came in was, "Pain is weakness leaving the body," or something like that. And it's true.
Yeah.
But I was expecting, and to an extent, people compare the ninja to these superhuman abilities, but the fact is you have to train that much in order to have that, if you want to say, physical superhuman ability.
Now that you've been here, and you've been here for, when was the first time you were?
Oh, it was 2009.
2009. You've been here since 2009. And since it's 2009, so we're looking at good 5 years or so. The next question is, what is your favorite part of training? What is the part of training that you enjoy the most? I mean, obviously we do Kempo, Jujutsu, Iaijutsu, Ninjutsu, yada yada. What is the part that you really like the most?
That's a tough one, because if it's particular techniques, I'd have to say sword work. I'd have to say Iaijutsu, but if we're talking overall, I'd have to say the Kuden and the Hiden that you get. You get a lot of really, really cool stories that help you aspire to be a better person. And you pick up some heroes along the way. So
that's good. Okay, so the next question we have, which is actually going to be a 2-part answer for Mr. McLean here, but it's going to be this one here. It's going to be, we're talking about overcoming odds, and what are some of the obstacles with his training that he's had to overcome. And I know there's a couple things that we're going to mention. So, you want to go with that?
Sure.
Go for it.
Definitely. Well, recently, this past October 21st in 2013, I had hip surgery. I had PAO surgery. They basically broke my hip in 4 different places, and then they reshaped it and screwed it back together. And then I also had a torn labrum in both hips, so they repaired the one in the right hip, and they carved away part of my femur so that the ball and socket would fit better and there wouldn't be impingement. So that's definitely been a physical aspect of training that I've had to overcome. But since they've been very, very understanding about it and very willing to help out.
Yeah. The joke here at the school is because he had all those broken hips on these screws stuck into his hips. The
4
joke,
screws.
Yeah, the joke is, "Hey, McLean, you're screwed."
Yeah. You're not old, you're screwed.
Yeah, so lots of jokes with that. But he's doing very well. The second thing is, if you want to go ahead and talk about that,
sure.
I'd let you introduce that aspect.
The second part is more. We covered the physical. The second part would probably be more mental. And as far as mental, what I mean by that is I happen to have mental disabilities. I have Asperger's syndrome and bipolar disorder. And kind of throughout training, I've started to be able to recognize and address some of these aspects of the disabilities. Bipolar disorder, you get mood swings one way or the other. There's mania, there's rage, there's depression, and for the most part, I've been able to address those mood swings through training, through kudin, through just working out and sparring, and that's helped me. Yeah. As far as the Asperger's thing, that's a social disability, and it's a big spectrum. So it's a spectrum disorder. So if you look at one person with Asperger's, you've seen one person with Asperger's. You haven't seen the whole thing. It's technically, I believe it's called autism right now. They don't call it Asperger's anymore. I think it's under the autistic spectrum. We're very, very particular about everything that there is, and since I can testify to that, I'm very particular. And
I'm very not. So
yes.
Sometimes in the transmission, when we're doing techniques, it's like, when I say this is going to be the kata that's going to train today, he's so damn particular.
Yep.
And I am just not.
Yep.
I look at it, there are a million ways to skin the cat. And he looks at it like, how do you skin the cat?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so, yes, there's definitely been times where, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very, very good about that. But the reason I'd like for him to introduce and talk a little bit more about the subject and how that actually, he has it, autism or Asperger's or whatever the category is. And I only know what he's told me, and I only know through experience of training him and, a few other students that have it as well. But the important thing here is that we do have students that are solitary practitioners in the online dojo that have the same disability. Is disability the correct word? Yeah. That have the same disability, and they're training with us in the online dojo. They order our DVDs. They get on the forum. They talk to us on YouTube and Facebook and Skype and Twitter and I think it's really good to have your upper brown belt. You'll be testing for black, and you've done very well. You're really good, and I think that it's really good to let other students who do follow us that may suffer from the same disability know that it's cool. Come in here and train with us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
don't be afraid.
Yeah, it's I've learned a lot. I'll be honest. I learned a lot working with McLean because just from a personality perspective, he does see things very.
Yep.
Oh, I don't.
I'm working on the black and white thing right now.
Gray. It's 50 Shades of Gray.
Yeah, there's gray. There's gray in there. I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to learn how to. But that's the other thing. In recent years, since it has pushed me to learn how to multitask with my life and stuff like that, and I've learned how to do that. Just the other day, I went to swing dance club and to work all in the same day, so I did two things in the same day instead of whereas what I used to do was I would set my schedule to one thing per day, and I couldn't do anything else. And since it has kind of opened me up a little bit.
Yeah, he was so focused, like, okay, Monday I'm going to do this, and Tuesday I'm going to do this. And of course, he's saying one thing. He does many things in that day. It's just that he sets it in his head. He's saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do my normal routine and this. And I'm going to do my normal routine and this. I'm going to do my normal routine and this. And I think we've been working on the whole idea of it's okay to do
multiple things.
More than this. Yes, experience life. So, and he's getting better at it. He's getting much better at it.
Yeah.
So, yes, wonderful, wonderful. The next question is, now that you've done this, you've had the physical hip problems, and there was other health issues in there that we went through before.
Yes.
I remember that, but that goes with training. Everyone goes through injuries and shit.
Yes.
We've talked about you found me, you came in, and all this good stuff. What's your goals with training, and what is it that you're aspiring to do, and future goals, like not just what's an immediate goal. What in your head, what is it that you see by training here? What would you like to do?
I would definitely like to at least get a black belt. I would like to go further than that. Someday, if Sensei allows me, I'd like to open up my own school. I'm kind of gunning for the inheritor of the art. I'm not sure if that's the plan or not, but I definitely want to open up my own school and honor Sensei that way.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome. Yeah, teach. I think it'd be great. When you get up to that point, get your black belt, pass that level, and we'll get you into that, the instructor teaching part of it, you know what I mean? Learn that stuff, and I think it's great. I think you'd be a wonderful teacher just because you are diligent in so many things. I think as a teacher on one side, you definitely got to learn the 50 Shades of Grey type thing.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of gray area, but I think that you would be an excellent teacher because you're good at what you know and you stick to it, and you're very diligent and you're very responsible and you're very competitive. And you know what you do, and you do that very well. So I think you'd be a great teacher. I really do.
Thank you.
Okay, so we talked about Budo and all that good stuff, but now let's talk about outside. Because one thing I tell all my students, it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Take the lessons that we learn in here and let's apply it to life. Which obviously, many of the online critics hate my ass because, I take what I learn in martial arts and I apply it to many other avenues in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Okay. But with you personally, are there hobbies, are there things that you do outside of here? Introduce the things that you like. Go for it.
One of my hobbies that I happen to do would be definitely blacksmithing. And I try to incorporate the philosophies that I learned here into blacksmithing and vice versa. I mean, every single time I swing a hammer, I swing my sword. And every single time I pound on a piece of hot metal, I'm pounding on my body and I'm getting better and stronger and just being more forged into a better person. So I try to incorporate the training aspect here into what I do in everything in life. Another thing that I do is I do sculpture. I'm a sculptor, and same thing. I try to incorporate the philosophies that we teach here into that. I'm a huge anime fan. And some of the philosophies that go into that kind of came from here, so that's kind of cool. I learned where they came from and what they were talking about when they were talking about it.
Because a lot of animes, although I'm not one of those people that there are lots of people out there that just they love the anime and they think it's like the gospel. I enjoy anime for what it is. It's entertainment. I don't believe that there is an anime made to be historically accurate.
No, definitely not.
Where some people are like, no, this is the history of a particular Ruha. Anime it's entertainment, people. Well, from my perspective.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are people that believe that it's more than just entertainment. But what's your favorite anime?
My favorite anime, my oldest one would have to be Ghost in the Shell. My newest one would have to be One Piece.
My favorite one is Rurouni Kenshin. I think Rurouni Kenshin, the Samurai X and the Rurouni Kenshin anime series, I think it's the greatest anime of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I think this is absolutely wonderful. But the next two questions we're going to do is he's going to give in his own words, what's it like training with me, knowing me, and then after that, what's it like with Mr. Chafin, my assistant. So in your brief words, what's it like knowing me as a person and then me as a teacher, and then what's it like training with me?
I'd definitely say it's a very family atmosphere here. We try to, and at the same time, equally, the worst ass kicking you'll ever take will be here. And we try to make sure that that's the truth to all things. But,
What he's saying is we keep it in the family.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Didn't catch it. It was open for a joke. I wanted to throw
Oh, definitely.
Shit. Yeah, go for it.
It's definitely a family atmosphere. We try to, if you have a good heart and if you want to train in authentic ninjutsu and traditional samurai bujutsu, then you can train here, but as long as you have a good heart. A lot of people we do turn down because they're not.
That's a point, and I'm going to make this one. I take select few people. This isn't an open dojo, so we don't have it to where there's 10, 20 people an hour. In fact, my class sizes, I only teach 6 to 8 people an hour. There's an application process.
There's a waiver.
There is a waiver. There's an application process. You got to go through a hell of a thing just to get accepted as a student. This isn't you show up to my doorstep and then I'm just going to take you as a student. That does not happen. How about this? Contrast teaching styles. You come in and train with me, you train with Chafin. What's it like when you get me and then Chafin? Is there a contrast difference, and what's the...
I'd say there's definitely a contrast difference. On the note of family, Chafin's kind of like an older brother to me. I knew him since he was a brown belt, so I kind of got to see him advance and progress throughout his entire life. He wasn't always this big, macho, muscular man. He used to be a stick. And, but he's a hell of a good guy. And, I mean, he teaches the best way he can, and and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not always exactly what Sensei says, but
No, it's not.
we call them chaffinisms, but it works.
They are nothing but high quality.
They're chaffinisms. Yes. But yes, they're very good, very good. So I'm going to say this as an outro. This is Mr. McLean. He is one of our very dedicated students. He's been with us for many, many years. Hopefully he'll be testing for black belt coming up. You know, he's got to get over this hip injury before he can get in there and do the physical stuff. But you know, sparring and all that kind of stuff is a major part of our curriculum.
Oh yeah.
And he's always done very well. Actually, McLean is very good at sparring and grappling, and he has no problem with the physical contact. That's one thing I will definitely say about Mr. McLean is he's very, very aggressive and very good at sparring. That's definitely where I would. He's good at focusing on whooping some ass.
Thank you.
Now on the outro, I'm going to give you an opportunity to say what you like about the school, the program, training, whatever you'd like to say as an outro. I do want to say, I want to make sure I make this clear. I don't want you talking about, you know, haters and critics and
Okay.
your opinions about that shit, because we need to leave. All that needs to be, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We don't need to discuss that shit.
Okay.
Okay, so be positive. We do positive things in life,
Yeah,
right?
My outro is, if you want to be a student, even if it's online, Skype, or I best recommend personal training, because then you get to see all the cool scrolls, and then you get to see you get to hear all the good kuden. Don't be afraid, even if you do have disabilities. We welcome you. So, it's one hell of a fun ride.
Awesome. So this is Mr. McLean, and like I said, if you guys enjoyed this little introduction of Mr. McLean, and you guys like to follow him more in his journey of Budo, please click the link below, and that'll take you to his Facebook page, and you can follow him in his journey. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, until next time, guys, thank you guys very much for all your love and support. I do appreciate it, and take care, be safe. Good luck in your journey of Budo. All right, bye.